Today I am going to present on tools and plans required for rigid pavement construction. Let me start with the sequence of the presentation. I am going to cover the introduction and the components of the typical rigid pavement and the important tools and plans. Introduction: rigid pavements are those which possesses noteworthy flexural strength or flexural rigidity. The most common material used for the design and construction of rigid pavement is high quality plain cement concrete meant for the pavement, generally called pavement quality concrete, that is PQC. The CC pavement made of PQC are generally expected to sustain up to 45 kg per centimeter square of flexural strength. The rigid pavement has the slab action and is capable of transmitting wheel load stresses through a much wider area below the pavement slab. The cross section of the rigid pavement as shown. From the bottom, it is subgrade existing soil, subbase course generally GSB, we use WBM, WMM, above which base course we use DLC, and above which concrete pavement we use PQC, that is pavement quality concrete. Important tools and plants: batch mixing plant, mixture, transportation, paving equipments, surface texture equipments, concrete saw equipment, miscellaneous TNP. The batch mixing plant, the photograph showing the typical layout of batch mixing plant. The available capacities of the batch mix plants are 30 cubic meter per hour, 60 cubic meter per hour and 120 cubic meter per hour. The batch plant shall include minimum 4 bins with automatic weighing hoppers and scales for the fine aggregate and for each size of the coarse aggregate. If cement is used in bulk, a separate scale for cement shall be included. The weighing hoppers shall be properly sealed and vented to preclude dust during operation. Approved safety devices shall be provided and maintained for the protection of all personnel engaged in plant operation, inspection and testing. The batch plant shall be equipped with the suitable non-resettable batch counter which will correctly indicate the number of batches proportioned. The photograph showing the mixture shall be pan type, reversible type or any other mixer capable of combining the aggregate, cement and water into a thoroughly mixed and uniform mass within the specific mixing period and discharging the mixer without any segregation. Each stationary mixer shall be equipped with the approved timing devices which will automatically lock the discharge lever when the drum has been charged and release it at the end of the mixing period. The device shall be equipped with a bell or other suitable warning device adjusted to give a clearly audible signal each time the lock is released. The mixture shall be equipped with the suitable non-resettable batch counter which shall correctly indicate the number of batches mixed. The mixture shall be cleaned at suitable intervals. The pickup and the throwover blades in the drum shall be repaired or replaced when they are worn down 20 mm or more. The contractor shall have available at this job site a copy of the manufacturer design showing the dimensions and the arrangements of the blades in reference to the original height and depth and provide permanent marks on the blades to show points of 20 mm wear from new conditions. Drilled holes of 5 mm diameter near each end and at midpoint of each blade are recommended. A water tank with suitable control should be fitted with the mixer to strictly ensure water cement ratio. Batching plant shall be calibrated in the beginning and thereafter at suitable interval not exceeding 1 month. An air conditioning centralized control cabin shall be provided for automatic operation of the equipment. The photograph showing the typical fixed form paver. The fixed form paving train shall consist of a separate powered machines which spread, compact and finish the concrete in a continuous operation. The concrete is discharged without segregation into hopper spreader which is equipped with the means for controlling its rate of deposition onto the subbase. The spreader is operated to strike off concrete up to a level requiring a small amount of cutting down by the distributor of the spreader. The distributor of the spreader strike off the concrete to the surcharge adequate to ensure that vibratory compacted thoroughly compacts the layer. If necessary, poker vibration shall be used adjacent to the side forms and edges of the previously constructed slab. The vibratory compactor is set to strike off the surface slightly high so that it is cut down the required level by oscillating beam. The final finisher finishes the surface to the required level and smoothens the as specified. Care being taken to avoid bringing up the excessive motor to the surface by overworking. The photograph showing the typical layout of the slip form paver. The slip form paving train shall consist of power machine which spreads, compacts and finishes the concrete in a continuous operation. The slip form paving machine shall compact the concrete by internal vibration and shape in between the side forms with either a conforming plate by vibrating and oscillating finishing beams. The concrete shall be deposited without segregation in front of slip form paver across the whole width and to a height at all the times in excess of the required surcharge. The deposited concrete shall be struck off to the necessary average and differential surcharge by means of strike off plate or screw auger device extending across the whole width of the slab. The equipment for the striking of the concrete shall be capable of being rapidly adjusted for change of the average and differential surcharge necessitated by change in slab thickness or crossfall. The level of the conforming plate and finishing beams shall be controlled automatically for the guide wires installed by the sensors attached at the four corners of the slip form paving machine. The alignment of the paver shall be controlled automatically from the guide wire by at least one set of sensor attached to the paver. The alignment and level of ancillary machineries for finishing, texturing and curing of the concrete shall be automatically controlled relative to the guide wire or to the surface and edge of the slab. Slip form paving machine shall be have vibrator of variable output with a maximum energy output of not less than 2.5 kilowatt per meter width of the slab per 300 mm of slab for laying speed up to 1.5 meter per minute or pro data for higher speeds. The machine shall be of sufficient mass to provide adequate reaction during spreading and paving operations on the traction units to maintain forward movement during the placing of concrete in all the situations. Surface texture equipments. After the final regulation of the slab and before the application of the curing membrane, the surface of the slab shall be brush textured in a direction at right angles to the longitudinal axis of the carriageway. The brush surface texture shall be applied evenly across the slab in one direction by the use of wire brush not less than 450 mm wide, but longer brushes are preferred. The brush shall be made of 32 gauge tape wires grouped together in tufts spaced at 10 mm centers. Tufts shall contain an average of 14 wires and initially be 100 mm long. The brush shall have two rows of tufts. The rows shall be 20 mm apart and the tufts in one row shall be opposite the center of the gap between the tufts in other row. The brush shall be replaced when the shortest tuft wears down to 90 mm long. The texture depth shall be determined by the sand patch test as described in MORTH class 602.12. This test shall be performed at least once for each day's paving and wherever the engineer considers it necessary. At times after construction, 5 individual measurements of the texture depth shall be taken at least 2 meter apart anywhere along a diagonal line across a lane width between points 50 to 20 mm apart along the pavement. Surface texture equipment. No measurement shall be taken within 300 mm of the longitudinal edge of the concrete slab constructed in one pass. Texture depth shall not be less than average of 1.25 mm. The photograph showing the float finish surfaces and brooming on concrete surface. Concrete saw. The contractor shall provide adequate number of concrete saw with sufficient number of diamond edge saw blades. The saw machine shall be either electric or petrol or diesel driven type. A water tank with flexible hose and pump shall be made available for this activity on priority basis. The contractor shall have at least one standby saw in good working condition. The concreting work shall not commence if the saw are not working condition. Contractor shall have concrete saw capable of cutting full depth of the slab. Photograph showing the cutting machines and joints cutting of the slab. Miscellaneous TNP. Freshly mixed concrete from the central batching and mixing plant shall be transported to the paver site by means of transit mixtures of suitable capacity and approved design in sufficient number to ensure a constant supply of concrete. The feeding of the paver is to be regulated in such a way that the paving is done in an uninterrupted manner with uniform speed throughout the day's work. The photograph showing the tippers Miscellaneous TNP excavator is used for the demolition and excavation of hot soil and rocks. JCB is used for the excavation of loose soils, loading and unloading, spreading of the various materials. Mechanical paver is used for the laying and leveling of the dryling concrete and wet mix macadam. Sand screeners, graders, laying and leveling of the GSB, preparation of the subgrade, we use grader. Earth compactor is used for the rolling purpose. Thank you. Jai Hind.